Dismak 4. Hey guys, sorry for the Hey guys, sorry for the late start. I had some stuff going on. Man, I'm excited. First time in Texas. Peak fighting. This is awesome. We had a lot of support from the community and some people in particular that I want to thank. Thanks to all our sponsors, and Miss Carla helped out a lot with this event, so I would like to say thanks to her there she is. Yeah, give her a round of applause. Thanks to the community for coming together. Honestly, since I landed in this city, it's been nothing but awesome, and I love this place. It's been amazing, and I'm hoping this show's amazing and we can come back. So we're gonna start with the preliminary card. We got Mr. Austin Clark over here to the left, Dakota Johnson to the left, Nancy Ramirez to the left, Gavin to the left, Lee Fergosa to the left, London is on her way, Miss DeBrell, Ivan Ortiz, and Mr. Hamilton. We'll start taking questions. We'll start with the press, and then if anyone has questions in the stands, we'll take those too. Thanks.
So Johnny, the journey to hosting an event here in Texas has been long and hard. How does it feel to actually be able to host your biggest event to date here in the Lone Star State?
Man, it's awesome. Like I said earlier, it's fantastic. The place is fantastic. It seems like Texas is more educated about MMA than some other states, and they love it. And we're here to put on some badass fights, and I think everyone's gonna love the fights. We got a stacked card, and I'm pumped to do it here.
And the next question is for Austin. Austin, is there any added pressure fighting on such a big stage here in your hometown?
Yeah, my first fight was all the way in Arkansas, so I mean, I don't know anybody there, so really no matter what happens, I mean, other than social media, no one's really gonna know about it. But here, I mean, I'm gonna be in front of all my friends, family, but no matter what, I'm gonna put on a show and we're gonna have some fun out there.
And then for Dakota, unfortunate weight cut. Was there any issues in camp, or talk to me a little bit about what happened with the weight cut?
Yeah, I was a little heavy when I accepted the fight. When I bit my tongue off, I took 4 months off of the fighting, wasn't in the gym whatsoever, jumped back in the gym and took this fight on short notice. I was running a little heavy, a lot heavier than I would have liked to have been. My coach told me we can weigh in 137.4, so that's what we'll do our best to get to, and that's what I gave hell to get to. My scale had me at 138.1. I went to the sauna there, stayed in the sauna till I was late, still showed up, and the scale showed the same. My scale, when I got there, matched the same. After an hour sit in a fucking sauna, I get on their scale, and I'm still 138.1, and then come to find out, right before I step on the scale, oh, guess what? 1 fucking pound, huh?
Gotcha. And Johnny, it seems like there were some other fighters also talking a little bit about some scale issues. Can you talk a little bit about that, or what you guys do to actually make sure that the scales are calibrated properly?
So the scale was calibrated, and a lot of the card didn't have issues, and then a lot of the card did have issues. I mean, we had people at the same gym have issues with weigh-in, one person, a little bit, nothing big, it happens. Then the rest of the kids from that gym make weight, no problem. So some people had issues, some people didn't. I know the girls had weight issues, they had some complaints about it. I mean, if it's us, it's us, but at the end of the day, it sounds like there's a communication problem on that end, not the scale. So.
Okay, and John Hamilton, you took this fight on short notice. What did you do to prepare, or are you always just trying to stay ready?
That's right. I took this fight on 3 days' notice. Got the call Tuesday. And it's a funny story. One of the preliminary fighters dropped out, and Peak was like, "What are we gonna do? Preliminary fighter's gone. We're gonna have to cancel the whole show. Like, we need someone to replace." So who do they call? The man that's always ready, always on weight. 3 days notice, made 150 pounds, no problem. I could have made 145 with 2 extra days, easy peasy. And yeah, I'm always ready, baby.
Awesome. And Austin Clark, I see you have an aggressive ground game off your back. Do you feel like you'll have the advantage there in this fight?
No, I'm not really planning to be on my back at all this fight.
What about your ground game, your jiu-jitsu, just in general?
My ground game is very strong, but really trying to keep this stride standing and banging.
Nice.
We could have a grappling match if you want. Just both of us pull guard in the middle. We can do that for some fun, like the third round. How about
That's
that?
true jujitsu.
All right, all right.
Then Ivan Ortiz, how do you feel about coming into this fight with a successful camp like Factory X as your home gym? And do you think your altitude training will have an advantage at this fight?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that, please?
I said, how do you feel about coming into this fight with a successful camp like Factory X as your home gym? And do you feel like your altitude training will make you have an advantage at this fight?
Of course. And man, I feel real good, man. I feel like I feel like a soldier of God right now,
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Ivan, this is the biggest card you've fought on. Is there any pre-fight jitters being part of an event of this size?
No, sir. This is my first time in a big arena like this, and I'm very grateful for being here right now. And I'm gonna take advantage of this opportunity. And yeah.
And Nancy, how does it make you feel that you're the champ, but it seems like the promotion has been pushing London more so than their own champion as the next top prospect?
Can you repeat the question?
I said, how does it make you feel that with you being the champion, it seems like the promotion is still putting a lot of hype and effort around building London versus their own champion?
I'm not surprised. Everyone underestimates me, and that's fine. Used to it, but I'm also good at surprising people. So that surprise people.
And Gavin, there was a lot of controversy surrounding your last fight. I know you wanted to fight Rocky again to prove that it wasn't a fluke. How do you feel taking on Lee as an opponent versus getting that rematch against Rocky?
I'm grateful that Lee Frangoza came down here to fight me because me and Riker were supposed to rematch, but I don't understand why he didn't want to come to my hometown when I went to his, but I'm glad and able to have an opponent and put on a good show tomorrow.
And then Lee, how does it feel fighting for a title tomorrow night?
Man, I understand I got my name right for once. That's all I'm worried about. This is awesome, yeah.
Dakota, your last fight was for the Peak title, but it didn't go your way. What have you done to make adjustments to get a win tomorrow and get back in title contention?
Nothing really, just train hard and grapple a whole lot harder and move my head even when I get tired and stop fixing my mouthpiece when you eat a left hand and throw a right hand and maybe back that motherfucker up a little bit instead of getting kicked in the chin, It happens, good luck to him, but where's his career going? But you're wrestling everybody. You're gonna run into somebody that can wrestle,
Nice. And Nancy Ramirez, did you watch London's last fight against Shauna? And does that make you want to take the fight to the ground? Or do you feel comfortable on the feet with her?
If the fight does go to the ground, I would be comfortable. I'm not afraid to go to the ground or stand and bang. Wherever London wants to go, I'll meet her there. I'm not afraid to go anywhere with anyone.
Okay, thank you.
What's up, guys? Just want to say thank y'all for making weight, coming up here. I drove a long way to come over here and see you guys. Austin, how difficult was it to get a couple opponent changes to stay focused, to maintain the weight whether you go up or down? And was that frustrating during camp?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Was it frustrating to find out different opponent changes last minute and to stay focused?
Yes, it is very frustrating. I didn't get my matchup until Tuesday, but the one before that was even kind of short. So all around, I was kind of planning for, I guess, a short notice fight.
I'm going to steal a line from Nate Diaz. We should be ready to fight anyone at any time, even on our worst days. So I understand it was late notice for him too, but it's late notice for me as well. We should always be ready to fight.
You also have a teammate who couldn't make weight that wasn't here. That's why you got the call, right? Did you have a teammate who couldn't make weight?
No, sir. That was not my teammate.
All right, cool, man. So it's the fight game. It happens. So I'm glad y'all here. No disrespect to anyone here. I think the show is here for Gavin. You know, it's his hometown. You know, I think they did a great job promoting this event. You know, so I would say a lot of pressure's on Gavin to uphold his end. You know, he's been fighting over there in Texarkana. Now he gets to put on a show in front of his hometown with a similar opponent with Lee. You know, Lee coming off a good win. You know, similar style as Rocky. Gavin, how do you keep focus here in your hometown, and you get to shut up a lot of people up if you're victorious tomorrow night?
I just don't let the pressure get to me. I'm real confident because my coaches, as always, they train me real good, and like everyone says, we stay ready. We don't have to get ready, and I'm just ready to put on a good show tomorrow.
And Lee, I know you watched the fight. Did you come away with any advantages that you thought that you could capitalize, you know, going against Gavin?
Man, honestly, I'm a fan of Gavin. He's a real tough guy. I met him earlier today. He's a real cool guy. And this whole thing, it's a cool experience for me, man. I'm training harder, and man, that's all I can say about that.
Hey, Nancy, was there any particular issues with the weight?
Yes, I did miss weight 2 times, so it was a little bit struggle, but that's part of the game. I just kept going in and out of the sauna until I made weight, and here I am. Gonna put it back on the back, and just time to put on a show for tomorrow.
And what type of fight do we expect tomorrow? We know what London brings. She likes to stand up. Do you want to stand up with her and show her your skills, or do you have a game plan implemented for tomorrow?
I mean, if she wants to see skills, I'll show her my skills. She'll show her skills. Again, if she wants to go to the ground, we'll go to the ground. Whatever she wants to bring, I'll answer her questions.
Hey, London, glad that you can make it. How do you feel you match up with Nancy?
I'm sorry, so the home
How do you feel you match up with Nancy?
I feel super confident. I've worked a ton on grappling this camp, and so wherever the fight goes, I feel like I'm able to find a finish somewhere.
And Ivan, you're trying to get back on the win track. Well, what are you trying to do tomorrow to make sure that happens, man?
Have fun.
And any post-fight jitters for any of you guys? Having to travel, how's the city been? You know, everyone get a good night, dinner, lunch, whatever?
Don't expect anyone to know this, but I'm from Midland, Texas, grew up, so this feels like home country to me, being back in West Texas, the dry, barren land out there, the dust kicking up beautiful sunsets, so it feels good to be back in this part of the area. No pre-fight jitters.
Man, hey Johnny, I appreciate you bringing this show here. This is my hometown, I'm from here, and I'm glad that y'all are bringing an event, and I can't wait for you guys to put on a show for this crowd. And Johnny, appreciate it. What was the choice in coming to San Angelo? Was it because Gavin won that title?
It's a little bit of Gavin and then a lot of probably Carla just talking me into it, you know, and just saying, hey, they need it. It's gonna be awesome. And then for Gavin to fight here, I think we have someone we can work off of in this city, and that always helps. So that's kind of the main reason.
Appreciate it.
Last question is for London. London, is there any particular reason why you were late to the press conference today?
Yeah, that was on me and my coaches for sure. We just had some miscommunication.
Got it. And then is there any added pressure for all of the promotion and the hype that the company has been putting behind you versus the champ?
Pressure? No, it just gets me more excited and more hyped up.
Hey guys, first and foremost, I gotta give a big shout out to Johnny and Pete for coming to San Angelo, Texas. Brett Whitehead, Angelo MMA, Lone Star 92.9. My first question, I got a couple of them, and I don't want to kick a dead horse, but I have a feeling it's going to be a topic that we continue with throughout the press conference. So I want to talk to Austin and John about as far as having a brand new opponent the week of the fights. I know that we spoke about this a little earlier. Would you rather have the knowledge of your opponent, obviously, to be able to go in training with, or would you rather just have it kind of at the drop of a hat, no knowledge, no inside knowledge of your opponent or anything like that? Also, I was unaware you were from Midland, so this is kind of like a homecoming for you as well. Lee, Lubbock, just about 3 hours away. We'll speak to that here in just a second. But John and Austin, what do you feel like? Would you rather have that knowledge coming in, or just kind of be hit with it on the week of?
It's all the same. You got to take it, ebbs and flows, go with it. Especially in the amateurs, people are going to drop out for all sorts of reasons. There's no money on the line yet, so you got to be ready at any point. Like I said, that's why people know who to call. BVMMA, our team, because we always stay ready. We're ready to make weight at any point, and we don't care who we fight. We're going to come in and beat some.
Love that mentality. I love the professionalism. Austin, you're about to fight here in San Angelo. Angelo MMA, they've been backing you. What's it like? Brand new opponent the week of. I know you spoke on it a little bit before. Would you rather have that changed or kind of at the mercy of the gods?
I always like an advance, that way I can envision my opponent the entire time I'm shadowboxing and training leading up to the event. But if we do get a last-minute matchup like this one, we're going to see whose skills really show, who's really been putting in the work all training camp, and who's been picking up last-minute fights.
Yeah, it's certainly going to show tomorrow. Looking forward to y'all's fight. My next question is for both Gavin and Lee. Of course, Lee's from Lubbock, just 3.5 hours away, depending on how fast you drive. Gavin, from here in San Angelo, tell me a little bit about how much is this going to mean to you when those cage doors close tomorrow in your hometown of San Angelo. You're defending your 145-pound scrap for the very first time against a very formidable opponent. It's going to be fireworks. We already know that.
Yeah, it means everything to me because I get to prove everyone wrong again. I mean, I've been having this vision since I was in high school, and now it's really happening.
Under the bright lights. And did you ever think that it would be in San Angelo? Did you ever think that San Angelo would actually host an event like this? Because as far as I know, other than some backyard stuff, this is the biggest event of its kind here in San Angelo, Texas.
I mean, I knew it was going to happen sooner or later, and I'm glad it was PFC. You know, they're a pretty cool promotion, and of course, we could have done well. My coach Carla, she's the one that brought this promotion over here, and I'm glad I have my coaches to do that for me, and I'm just so grateful for all of this.
Absolutely, man. We can't wait to watch you fight. Lee, 3 hours away. It's not exactly a home fight, but it's not an away game either. What are your thoughts heading in?
Man, I'm just glad I don't have to drive 8 hours to Texarkana again, because that sucks.
You're right about that, guys. We can't wait until tomorrow. We're going to be some fireworks in the cage. Thank you, everybody who came out. Johnny, and a big shout out to Carla as well. Angela May. She helped put all this on. We can't wait for tomorrow night, guys.
That's gonna wrap up the prelims, unless anyone up there has questions, and then we're gonna go to the main card. Anybody? What? Okay. All right, guys. Thanks, guys, and I can get the main card up here. Give us about 2 seconds. Let's go. All right, everyone, here we're with the main card. I'm not going to introduce them because everyone should know them. That's the thing. So we're going to start taking questions from anybody.
Max, how does it feel to be back after such a long layoff?
Good, man. I mean, it's been 4 years, 2 ACL surgeries, and COVID in the middle of that. It's fucking shit. But I'm happy to be back, happy to compete. Took the fight Monday, and I'm just ready to go.
How are you feeling physically? Is there any sort of pending injuries or anything like that, or do you feel 100% ready for tomorrow night?
I'm good.
Got it. And then Jeremy, how does it feel to be fighting such a seasoned veteran of the sport in Craig Campbell?
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even know who he was before now, and then I looked him up, and I saw he fought for Bellator, and I was like, oh shit, it's gonna get real.
And Craig, obviously, how does it feel to be back fighting for a promotion that you actually helped start? A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, it feels awesome to be back after 3 years. I'm just looking forward to get back in the cage. As far as it being something that I started, it could be the backyard, it could be the parking lot. It doesn't matter where it goes down. But yeah, it is exciting to be back for Peak, especially for their largest show. I look forward to participating in it.
Got it. And then Braxton, coming off an absolutely nasty knockout on short notice. Talk to me about what it means to be fighting for the vacant title tomorrow night.
It means everything. Been off 8 years, finding the love for the sport again, and fighting for my first pro title.
Max, I saw you have a lot of unsanctioned fights. How do you feel that will benefit you with the added experience?
I'm
like
sorry?
kickboxing fights and unsanctioned fights.
Unsanctioned?
I just saw on your Instagram you had like a lot of like different kind of, I don't know if it was like Sambo or what.
Professional Muay Thai.
Oh, professional. Okay. It was
Yeah.
like different because it didn't have a cage or anything.
Yeah, I was raised in Hong Kong. All my fights have been in Asia.
Oh, wow.
So this is my first fight in America, in the West at all. Most of my fights were in Hong Kong. All those Muay Thai fights were there too.
Interesting. Okay. German Hans, how are you feeling making your PFC debut, and has your ground game caught up to your impressive striking background? Does he have a translator?
¿Cómo te sientes haciendo tu PFC debut?
Me siento excelente, nos preparamos bastante duro para esta pelea, conocemos el potencial de nuestro rival, pero también conocemos nuestro potencial.
Repítalo, no te oí. No te oí, no te oí.
Que estamos bien preparados, que sabemos el nivel que él trae y nuestro nivel. Vengo de varias peleas profesionales. Yo también he peleado Muay Thai. De hecho, también fui campeón norteamericano y pues vamos a dar todo en esta pelea.
He's prepared.
Craig Campbell, you haven't fought in a while. We are used to seeing you cage side or cornering or commentating. What made you want to jump in there again to test yourself with these up-and-comers?
I think I'd go back to what Braxton said. My time off was more of just kind of a rest and recoup and kind of a re-game planning. I found a passion for the game through coaching and cornering. And 37, although a little bit old in this game, I don't feel old. I haven't taken a lot of damage, so I'm just ready to make a little run before it's over.
Awesome. Cameron, is your game plan to take it to the ground after seeing Braxton's last few fights, or are you willing to stand and bang?
I know what a takedown is, bro. I'm gonna be real with you. So, nah, we're probably gonna end up standing and trading because I don't plan on hitting no takedowns.
Awesome. Braxton, are we going to get another highlight reel tomorrow?
Just tune in and see.
Yep.
Dakota, it was a tough journey getting here. How does it finally feel to be at the event and to be defending your title tomorrow night?
It feels really good to finally be here. Like you said, it was a long journey to get here, 24-hour flight all the way from Bangkok, Thailand. So just glad to be here in front of my people, be able to put on a show and win, get a finish in front of the people here in Texas.
And then last question for Cameron. Braxton's fights haven't really been that long, so were there any holes that you noticed in his game when you were reviewing tape, or are you just planning on going in there and implementing your own game plan and just standing and banging?
I mean, yeah, his fights haven't been that long, but neither have mine. So, like, we all have holes in the game, so I do think there's some there, and I'm sure he feels the same way, because that's what we do. We film study, and so, I mean, yeah, I plan on striking with him because I ain't no bitch.
What's up, Braxton, man? What was the reason for the layoff after your first fight? Against, and it was no slouch, man. Your first fight was against Chase Sherman.
Yeah, just moving out to Texas. I'm from Alabama, so I didn't want to do it no more after my amateur career, and I just found love for the sport last year, so I'm back doing it now.
You know, and after that fight, you put on 3 straight wins. Now you're going to be fighting Cameron, which he has tons of experience over you. Do you see he has an advantage?
Nah, Edson did too, you know, so it's a fight at the end of the day, and I'll be ready.
And Cameron, you fighting a guy with not so many fights as you, do you use that as an advantage, do you think, you'll have over him in the fight cage?
To be perfectly honest with you, the only thing that matters in fighting is the fight itself. Experience is cool, but at the end of the day, you gotta go and fight. You could have 100 fights and go get beat up by a dude that has 3 fights.
Dakota, man, I know you bring that fight with you, man. How bad do you want to get your last performance out of your mouth with a win here?
Very badly. We all know, if you saw that last fight, the people know who won. So it's one of those things. But after you sit there and drop somebody 3 different rounds, 3 times, and take their back like that in the 5th round, and you still get fucked on the decision, it just really makes you go back and think, you know, you need to, if I dropped you 3 times, why didn't I finish you one of those 3 times and get it done? So my coaches and I, we got back to the drawing board, and we fixed that. So we have a lot of techniques that we've added, timing, fine-tuning. So when we have somebody hurt, you know, it's not just going to be in from the sides. We're going to make it count and get them out of there.
Your last 2 performances here at Peak, man, they were spectacular, you know, knockouts, quick finishes. What did you learn about yourself up there in Thailand?
It was more so something I learned when I went out there when I was young. You know, when I was 18, I learned more so then. Now it was just more getting back to that because I knew that's where I needed to be. You know, training 3 times a day, every day, world-class coaches, you know, giving you the best foot forward to go out there and get those types of finishes.
And Milko, your last fight was a great fight, man, against Olivier Mestad. On paper, you know, they probably had him winning. How do you feel you match up with Dakota and the style that you bring? No, he's speaking. Yeah. Yes. ¿Cómo te sientes a pelear tu estilo a Dakota? Porque la pelea, la última, mucha gente que pensaba que tú ibas a no ganar esa pelea, en el oponente que tenías era muy bueno, pero tú lo ganaste.
Bueno, me siento bien, me siento listo. Estoy muy emocionado por esta pelea. La verdad no sabía quién era él hasta antes de la pelea o de firmar el contrato. Todo el respeto para él, pero mañana voy a tomar ese cinturón porque me pertenece.
¿Y tú crees esta pelea va a estar muy fácil o va a estar una guerra como la última?
No, en este nivel yo creo que ya no hay pelea fácil, ¿me entiendes? Pero para eso nos venimos preparando muy fuerte todos los días, varios meses, para poder salir victoriosos.
Gracias. Hey, Jeremy, man, what's up,
Hey,
man? Good to
excuse
see
me.
you in the car.
My bad. Real quick, what did he say?
He was just saying that, I asked him about, his style and stuff, and he says that he feel good because his last fight was a war, man. On paper, they probably had written him off. So he says that, he's going to come in and he's going to show his training, and he got respect for you. So he says there's no easy fights, and tomorrow night they're going to find out.
Okay, word.
Hey, Jeremy, man, we know you bring the fight every time, man. How do you feel you're going to be fighting up against Craig Campbell, who's been in the game for a minute? His last two fights were on the big stage for LFA and Bellator. Does that kind of give you a little bit of jitters or anything?
Man, I'm gonna be honest. He's probably gonna be the hardest fight I've ever fought. And if you know me, I show up to fight and I'm the #1 loser on the table right now. So, but I still show up to put on a show. But either way, I come to bang, baby. So I don't get as jittery as somebody would seeing somebody with hella fights like he has. But I come to show up. A fight's a fight.
And Craig, with the experience you have coming off, your last two fights, Bellator and LFA, does it get easier during fight week, or is it just another day in the job for you?
Yeah, at this point, it's just another day at the job. I mean, I'm coaching and fighting and sparring guys every day. I'm accustomed to fighting my 7 pro fights, and then I had about 9 AMI fights. So it's just something I'm used to doing. So yeah, it's just another day at work.
Appreciate it.
Couple of questions for you guys. First, I want to address Dakota because it's something that I've noticed in mixed martial arts and just mixed martial arts in general for a while, even at the very top of the UFC. I'm sure Jessica Andrade and others have had to deal with this as well. Just the judges' decisions, is that in the forefront or the back of your mind when you're at a fight? You mentioned dropping your opponent multiple times, giving a backpack on round 5, and still having the judges go the other way with it. I know that we use the 10-9 scoring system. It may be a bit antiquated. That's a different conversation for a different time. But is that in the back of your mind when you're in the cage and that door is shut as far as I've got to get this guy out because I can't let it go to the judges?
First, I love that question. I'm glad you brought that up. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't. We always get told to go out there and you can't leave in the hands of the judges, but that's all good and well when you're fighting low-level talent and when everything is going great, but at the end of the day, when you're fighting top-level talent, that was champion versus champion. He had over 40 professional fights. It's all good to say you're going to get somebody out of there, which I almost did. Don't leave in the hands of the judges, but it shouldn't have to be like that. Like you said with the scoring system, in boxing, you drop somebody, that's a 10-8. You drop them again, that's a 10-7 in that same round. So you're out there basically giving somebody little mini concussions, and his little pitter-patter punches that were barely fucking touching you are scoring more on the judges' cards. And so it just goes, a lot of it goes to corruption, honestly, and people not knowing what they're looking at. But when you have these judges who score all these fights, I have a hard time believing that they continue to not know what they look at.
And that's another thing that you said, that they don't know what they're looking at. You don't know exactly where the judge's mind is at versus significant strikes, knockdowns, takedowns, control time, etc. Do you think it's time for a new scoring system in mixed martial arts?
Yes, sir, 100% it is, 100%. We're on the cutting edge of everything else, and we're still behind on a scoring system where you don't know what this person is thinking. And so you're in there pretty much throwing all these skills at the wall when this one guy might have a wrestling background, the other guy's jiu-jitsu, and then this guy's a striker. So it's like, what is he gonna be holding high, obviously?
Right, you gotta find the common ground, and that's what makes mixed martial arts the beautiful sport as it is. Exactly. I wanna speak a little bit about the layoffs and the time between fights. I guess it would be Max, Braxton, and Craig. Does it bother you at all? Is it different as far as layoffs go? I know each one is different than the next, but it's certainly not something that you want to have, but any ring rust, any kind of jitters, that has to go away as soon as the doors close. Am I correct?
You always have jitters.
Sure.
You always have, maybe not ring rust, but I tore my ACL, got ready for some fights, COVID happened, tore my ACL again, got ready for more fights. You just keep prepared. however you can. As soon as I tore my ACL and everything, I've always done jiu-jitsu. Great, time to work on my boxing. You just improve however you can. Doesn't matter. And then that next fight, sure, there's still jitters, but you get back into it.
Right. Love that answer. I love that answer. Braxton, how about you and Craig? Is the layoffs, does that stay in the forefront of your mind, or is that just kind of background noise, really?
No, I don't think about it. You know, you always kind of have jitters going into a fight. I mean, you respect your opponent, at least I do. So going into these fights, I underestimate nobody, and yeah, it's just a fight. It's another fight.
Got another question for y'all here in just a second, but once, let me hear from Craig as far as the layoff goes. It seems like it doesn't even bother you at all, just one in, one out, day in and day out, another opponent.
Yeah, no, it doesn't bother me at all. I was still competing, still doing a lot of no-gi jiu-jitsu tournaments, sparring actively, so I don't feel like it's a real big deal. Again, if you're looking in the past, you're looking in the wrong direction, so.
That's right, the train only moves one direction. Let's talk to the big boys, my man Cameron, Braxton. In my line of work, I play daily fantasy sports, MMA, and all the fantasy stuff. I hear three letters a lot. ITD, inside the distance. And if y'all don't know, as far as heavyweights go, these boys are gonna bang. Is it gonna be round one or is it gonna be round two? Both of you, whoever wants to answer it first. I can't wait to see y'all's fight.
I mean, I'm real with you, bro. It could be either round. If for all we know, that shit could be round 5. Who the fuck knows? Like, all I'm gonna say is I'm parts of the moment, so you know how we built.
Somebody going out, though. Somebody going out.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I like that. Looking forward to it, guys. I appreciate it. Thank y'all.
Anyone with any questions?
All right, let's have a question for Milko. And your last fight, you was basically a punching bag. I mean, you came out on top when he gassed out. You know, props to you that you're a hell of a fighter. Took a lot of shots, but now you're fighting a bigger, stronger opponent. Like, how you plan on eating that right hand, that left hand, that head kick? Just curious, what's your game plan to win this fight?
Son las palabras de él. Él dice que tu última pelea, que tú esperaste desde que ya estaba cansado tu oponente y luego tú subiste arriba de él. Y mañana, ¿cómo te sientes cuando las patadas y los golpes van a venir en tu lado y qué vas a hacer para defenderlos?
Bueno, cada pelea es diferente, ¿no? Uno tiene una estrategia y conforme se va dando la pelea, va cambiando la estrategia a veces. La gente que me ha visto pelear, la gente con la que entreno, con la que he hecho sparring, sabe que me gusta mucho el intercambio, me gusta mucho el tirar los golpes también. Si tú vas a tirar golpes, yo también puedo hacerlo y me gusta mucho el intercambio también. No tengo problema, sea fuerte, rápido, lo que sea. Si quieres intercambiar, podemos intercambiar también.
He says he don't have a problem wherever the fight goes, whether you want to stand and bang or take it to the ground, that he enjoys all aspects of the fight, and he's ready to go wherever the fight takes it.
Well, what I have to say about that is we prepare for more than just standing and banging. So, I mean, what does that mean? Standing and banging, and we're talking about somebody who drops people, puts people out, and has the equalizer called power, and then somebody who doesn't have that. So standing and banging, that's probably not the best. I mean, no.
Él dice que él trainea para diferentes cosas, pero cuando él tiene las fuerzas para noquearlo, ese no depende en la pelea porque los jueces muchas veces no vean eso. So, él no entiende la pregunta, pero es la pregunta de aquí.
Ok. Pues bueno, sí, todos entrenamos en diferentes cosas, ¿no? Esto es MMA y si él quiere noquearme, pues sí, que lo intente.
Yeah, he says if you want to try to knock him out, then to try to go ahead and see. You'll find out tomorrow night.
Yes, we will. And still.
Hey, Dakota Hope, you really think this guy's going to be able to go the distance with you, or what are you thinking?
You know how our cardio is, brother. You know, we can do 25 minutes, 50 minutes. It don't matter. That's the beauty of it. I can sit there and toast him how I want for 25 minutes like a slow cooker if I want to. Or it could be over. Just like that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm definitely predicting a knockout. I'm predicting probably a second round knockout. Good luck to both of you guys, and y'all have a good night.
Thank you, brother.
Montana.
One last question for Orlando. How do you feel coming into this fight from a well-known established gym like Extreme Couture, and how will that help you being in the gym with those high-level guys?
I get some good work. I'm just calm and happy that I'm here, ready to fight. I'm very, very prepared. I'm one of the best purple belts in the world, literally, and I'm ready.
Nice.
Anyone else have questions? I think we have one up here.
This question is to Max. So, welcome to Texas first. What round do you think you're going to finish your opponent tomorrow?
I'm not focused on that. I'm focused on finding whatever opportunity I can find whenever I find it.
Amazing.
Anyone else have any questions? We can go on to the face-offs.
Nobody has any more questions.
No, we're good. All right, guys, thank you.
Nobody got no more questions. Let's go.
Wait.
Let's go,
This is to Dakota. Welcome to Texas 2. I'm looking forward to your fight. Sounds really hype. What is your strongest point to defeating your opponent tomorrow? And honestly, what are you looking forward to in the future?
Thank you for welcoming me here, but I'm actually an H-Town boy, so I'm Texas own. Let's go. Texas in the house, let's go. Woo! Let's go. And the strongest, I say, I'm honestly just a better mixed martial artist and fighter than him everywhere. So honestly, it's just gonna be where he makes a mistake that he's gonna make a mistake because we prepared for it. We're world-class coaches. DJ Jackson, 8-time Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt world champion. My striking coach, Josh Saliva, Dow Saliva Striking Systems, and Pippa, he's head trainer for Lurdzilla and Senchai. So, you know, that speaks for itself. And your coaches can't get in there and fight for you, but you take your skill set that they teach you and you take it in there. So it's just wherever it goes, you know what time it is.
Inspirational.
Thank you.
Can I get one more question?
Yeah, one more.
Perfect. This is going to Braxton Smith. So your opponent lost 2 submissions in his past fights. Do you think you might get a submission tomorrow?
No.
Stanging and banging, I love it. Thank you, gentlemen.
Esto es para los peleadores que hablan español. Simplemente para decirles que tienen apoyo aquí también, muchachos. Es una lástima que no tengan un traductor que les pueda explicar lo que les están preguntando bien. Y pues mucho ánimo y venga con todo.
Can we get a translator, please? Somebody to translate that to speak Spanish? Thank you, sir.
He just was basically welcoming them, saying like, hey man, don't feel down. You know, he got his people here too, and you know, for them to give it their best tomorrow night.
Well, this is Texas, so we're all, that'd be like my people, right? Because we're all from Texas. But I feel you though, Miraza, I feel it.
Okay, guys, anyone else? Last call. All right, guys, thanks. We'll see you in just 2 seconds. Flip the stage, and we'll see you in a couple seconds. Thanks, guys.
Thank you all for turning out and supporting us. We're going to put on the show Saturday night.